man that calls himself the Wolf, you sure do act like a coward.
Everyone can give the voice, but voice stop when we coming.
An atmosphere charged with intensity. The conversation surrounding the clash between Sean Strickland and Khamzat Chimaev is far more than mere sporting speculation. It feels like the impending arrival of a catastrophic storm. This matchup represents a genuine explosion between two of the most volatile and unpredictable personalities in the history of mixed martial arts, MMA. It has transcended the boundaries of sport to become a psychological saga, where Chimaev's predatory aggression meets Strickland's unyielding, chaotic resilience, prophecies of doom, and the anti-style, while initial technical breakdowns often paint a terrifying picture of Chimaev's dominance, treating his grappling prowess as an inescapable force of nature.
And I also think people are expecting Khamzat to play into this, all this talk and get emotional. And obviously a fight's a fight and anything can happen and you never know. But I think if the Khamzat that has been preparing for this and that I've seen comes out, Sean's got big.
I like his style. He brings all the things to the table to make this a real fight. Like I said, his style of striking is built for a wrestler to try to take him down. So it's like, if there was a guy that could challenge Khamzat, this is the guy. We need to see it. I like it. I'll take him.
Knows that he gasses out. And sometimes the fear of gassing out is worse than actually gassing out itself, meaning the fact that you psychologically gas out before you gas out. Part of getting tired is understanding the fact that you're going to get tired. So I say that to say
Strickland possesses a unique equalizer, the anti-style. Sean is not a conventional fighter. He is a master of frustrating technical norms. His approach is designed to turn perceived defensive holes into tactical traps, specifically engineered to exhaust and demoralize high-level wrestlers. Deep waters and the trial of will. Strickland's greatest danger lies in the deep waters, the championship 4th and 5th rounds. At the point where most elite athletes begin to redline physically, Sean finds a perverse enjoyment in the suffering. His mental fortitude allows him to thrive in the messiest parts of a fight, waiting for the exact moment his opponent's gas tank flickers to unleash his relentless volume, psychological warfare, and strategic provocation. This fight isn't just won with gloves, it's fought with the mind. Strickland is a specialist in dragging his opponents into a state of uncontrolled rage. If he successfully baits Chimaev into an emotional brawl, the Wolf's disciplined game plan could evaporate, revealing defensive gaps that no one expected to see. In the cage, raw anger is often the fastest route to a strategic mistake.
Sean comes on bigger and stronger. I think that it matters. I think this is all the makings of an upset. I do think that Strickland needs to get this fight late. I think the narrative that Chimaev fades is maybe a little bit overplayed, but the narrative that Sean Strickland comes on late, that's been proven before. I like Sean Strickland's chances in this.
Mental fatigue versus physical conditioning. A significant question hangs over Chimaev's ability to maintain his explosive pace over 25 minutes. The burden is often more psychological than physical. The fear of gassing out can be more draining than the act itself. Strickland enters with a clear, grueling objective: make every takedown attempt an expensive investment of energy, forcing immediate resets until the powerhouse is running on empty. Rare talent meets gritty intelligence.
I just don't think he's going to run over Sean Strickland. I think at some point, even though he's been working with Sam Calvita and doing all these things, I can see a world where Chimaev starts to slow down and Sean at least wins a round. I think Chimaev wins, but I just don't think it's going to come as easy.
Khamzat Chimaev is undoubtedly a generational anomaly, a fighter who transitions between disciplines with frightening ease. However, Strickland's evolved fight intelligence cannot be overlooked. He doesn't just aim to survive on the ground, he makes the struggle scrappy and uncomfortable. Unlike previous opponents who looked paralyzed under Chimaev's pressure, Strickland has the technical grit to escape, reset, and force the fight back into his world of striking. Loomed Hound, the verdict. The path to a monumental upset. Ultimately, Strickland's raw, old man strength may be the hidden key to this encounter. If he survives the initial hurricane of Chimaev's first-round blitz, the path opens for one of the most significant upsets in UFC history. This isn't just a battle for a ranking or a title. It is a definitive test of who can maintain their sanity and their cardio in the heart of absolute madness. The earthquake.
I do think Chimaev is one of those rare athletes that comes around only once in a long while, and he's undefeated for a reason. He brings a level of talent and tenacity that I think is rare even amongst all the dangerous men that have fought inside the octagon.
Sean makes it more of a scrappier fight when he gets to the ground to get himself back to his feet. Sean Strickland's whole game plan is to get back up. DDP didn't seem like he even had a fucking game plan.
Wake scenario. The early blitz. Most predictions point toward an explosive opening frame, where Chimaev is expected to launch a devastating assault aimed at closing the distance immediately. The primary scenario keeps fans on the edge of their seats. Either Khamzat succeeds in grounding and submerging Strickland in the opening minutes to cement his legacy as a merciless predator, or Strickland successfully weathers this initial hurricane. If the latter occurs, the octagon will transform into a psychological and physical battlefield of attrition that the Chechen fighter has rarely encountered. 7. Standing ground in the cage of chaos. Should the fight transcend the second round, the scales may tilt toward the organized chaos that Strickland has mastered. Technical forecasts suggest that Sean will rely on constant forward pressure and his signature jab to disrupt Khamzat's vision and prevent him from setting his feet. The octagon will become a testing ground.
The technique he uses, the strength he has. He's a strong guy, a lot stronger than Khamzat on a physical level. Once Khamzat has to fight Strickland's fight, I just don't think he has a chance. I do believe Strickland has every tool to not let that happen and maybe snatch that title away. It's going to be...
Many bettors are wagering that Strickland's ability to absorb punishment while returning a relentless volume of strikes could turn Chimaev's early confidence into tactical confusion as the clock winds down. The defining moment. The war of final breaths. In the championship rounds, 4 and 5, the world expects to see the true version of both warriors under the crushing weight of fatigue. Predictions here are sharply divided. Can Khamzat maintain his lethal sharpness and continue to chain wrestle? Or will Strickland exploit his opponent's waning energy reserves to impose total dominance? These moments will define who possesses the heart of a true champion, as mental willpower becomes the primary engine for exhausted limbs. Fan anticipation for a night of total war. The MMA fan base is currently split down the middle. One side views Chimaev as an invincible force, destined to reshape the division through his smash philosophy.
Strickland won't be able to compete when Khamzat wants to compete and get a takedown. When he really needs a takedown, Khamzat's going to get that.
While the other stands firmly behind Strickland as the people's champ, a man who fears no one and possesses the grit to dismantle the Chechen machine. This division has created a massive commercial momentum, making this the most anticipated event of the year, as everyone seeks the answer to one question: can technical mastery overcome raw, unfiltered fighting spirit? Post-fight legacy. Redrawing the divisional map. Cruel. Fan expectations extend far beyond the final scorecard. They focus on the aftermath.
Give the voice. War stop when we coming.
The victor of this war won't just earn a title shot. They will emerge with an aura of greatness that cements them as the face of the organization. Supporters expect this bout to set the new gold standard for what a real fight looks like. It is either the ultimate confirmation of the Wolf's dominance or the coronation of Strickland's madness as he becomes the uncrowned king of both the fans' hearts and the octagon alike.
And finally, stay tuned to keep up with our latest updates about UFC.